Hello, and welcome to the third edition of Sprites and creating your 2D game with no code. So, in the last video, we had just done physics and added some move scripts to our main character and I believe we put in an enemy, but I'm going to review this just in case. So I've added some more art assets, some more sprites into here, and I wanted to show you today how you can add collectible scripts, so objects that you're going to collect for points. I've also put in here two different ways that you can have an enemy pursue your main character and to teleport either to a new level or a new location within your level. And then lastly, how to create a second level. So I'm going to cover quite a few things, but it's not as complex as it seems. So last time we left, we had put our main character, a penguin, in here. I've replaced it with a different penguin that matches the art assets a little bit better, so I drew it and put it in here. I've drawn some sea kelp and drawn some starfish that are getting collected, and our seal, who's our enemy, who eats penguins. So let's start off by looking at how we create the enemy scoring. So on our main penguin here, we needed to add a playground script for our health system, and that would be found here in our Unity packages under Unity Technologies Playground in our project folder under scripts. Okay, and we have in game attributes, let me slide over my tile palette. We have two health system scripts that you can see here. So the negative one is going to be placed on enemies, and the positive one is going to be placed on your player. So when I click on my penguin, you can see on top of my move script, I've added a health system. Now, I've decided that I want to have a maximum health of 10, even if it gets taken away. I've also got these sardines that I've added, and last time I had put them as collectibles, but I've changed them to being part of my health system. So I'm going to show you how to do that. So the total is 10 maximum health points that you can have, and that's with this positive health script. Now, on my seal here, I've added a collider. I added a capsule collider, and I've added some physics in a rigid body. I've taken off the gravity because he's floating underwater and given him some friction. I've also then added a negative health script here, and the default is -1, but I've changed it to -2 so that he can give -2 health points every time he touches my penguin, every time their two colliders interact. Now, if I wanted to, I could click this here and my seal would disappear after it touched my penguin once. But I want this seal to continuously be a problem for my penguin. And in doing so, I also want him to follow my penguin around and chase him wherever he can. He is hindered by other colliders, so I do have colliders on my kelp here because I've created, if I zoom out, kind of a maze on the first side of my scene for them to go through with the kelp and other objects using colliders. So my seal can only go within the colliders, but I want him to follow my penguin and constantly harass him. So I've added a follow target script, which is in my scripts, movement, and here is my follow target script. So you're going to add this to the seal also, or your enemy also, if you want them to follow. In the follow target, you can adjust the speed and you can adjust several other things, like if you want it to constantly be looking at the target, which is my penguin. So I have to add my target, and it could be anything. He could follow around anything. So you could put something else in there that's wandering around and he could follow it. Or you can put your player in here by clicking on this little dial here and adding your um, your player. You need to make sure that he's tagged as enemy so that the script recognizes him as an enemy of your player. Okay, that has to do with your health as well. Okay, and then you can adjust your speed. So he is automatically looking left. So I said, look at target and notice that he's looking left in the beginning. So when he starts, he's going to constantly turn and follow my penguin because of this script. Now, I also wanted to add some positive health points. So on my sardines, I've done two different things. I've put the negative health script found here in the attributes, and I've added a wander script to some of them, meaning that they're just going to wander around randomly all over my playing board. So some of them I didn't do, and some of them I did do that. You can see here in my inspector, I renamed them so I would know. So for example, my sardine 2, I put in my negative health script, but I changed it to a positive 2. So this means whenever these colliders meet with my player collider, even though he's tagged as an enemy, he will give points to my penguin, give health points to my penguin instead of taking them away. Okay. In addition, these wandering ones, I've added a wander script. Now, these wander scripts are kind of cool. They are in the movement scripts. If we go into movement, we have down here wander. So my wandering sardine has in here speed. He can zoom around as fast as you want him to. And then every 3 seconds, he'll change direction. And I want to keep him near the starting point because if you don't, they wander clear far away from your background and it can get, you'll never see them again. Sometimes they'll just keep going. So you want to keep them near the starting point. I wanted them to orient to the direction that they're going. So if they're going up or down, their noses are pointed. I have the pivot point in the middle, and I could actually change it towards the front or towards the back so that they're pivoting from the back or pivoting from the front. You remember when we did the in the sprite editor, we placed where our pivot point was, but I'm going to just leave it in the center for now. Okay, and so he's looking automatically. If I click on this one, I'll double click on it so I can find him and zoom in. You can see he's got his negative script on. He's tagged as an enemy and he's pointed to the right. So his look axis starts in the right. That's telling the script like, oh, he's automatically looking right in the beginning and he can move in a different direction. I have a capsule collider on him, which I changed to horizontal instead of vertical because vertical would have made it like this. So I wanted to make it horizontal so it fit him better. Okay, and this guy is going to wander around when I push play. My other ones are not. So I've got Sardine 1, which gives 1 health point, Sardine 2, which gives 2 health points, and I've placed them in strategic locations inside of my scene view. So let me zoom back out here. So now I've got it set up kind of that my penguin, when he starts off, is here. The camera's got a camera follow on it. So the camera's going to follow up close where he's going. You can see the opening view of my, my game. And he can go this way or he can go this way or he can, even right now, he can go off my playing board until I block the background, which I'm going to do when I have more corals, which I haven't drawn yet. It takes time to draw the game art assets, so I'm adding some substitute ones in here until I add the hand-drawn ones. Okay, so like this rock here, which is going to be changed to a coral later, and this treasure chest over here, which I'm using for a demo purpose today. All right, so I have another enemy that I've added up here. And with this enemy, what I did is I put a patrol script on him. So when you click on it, you can see this line, and then there's a point, and that means he's going to go back and forth between these points. So in the movement script, that is this one, the patrol right here. You see the little ghost going back and forth. And let's look at it in our inspector. So it's got a speed adjustment. I can vary my speed, and I can add how many stops I want it to make on the way. If I wanted him to go from here to here to here and then back again, I could add another point and then move my point, I think it's this one, down here. And so then my seal will go between all 3 points. But right now I want to just keep it at 2, and he'll just go back and forth. Okay, so I'm going to play this so that you can see what it does in the scene view and in the game view. Keep an eye on the little fish running around, and my penguin, I'll play him in the right side while you watch on the left side. So he's collecting stars. My enemy, if you look in the scene view, you can see the second enemy patrolling, and in front of me here I can see a sardine moving around, wandering. So I could always catch him, try and catch him for health points. And then I can go collect more starfish around here. And you can see my score is adding here every time I get a starfish. And if I go touch the seal, you'll see he just took off 2 points. So you want to make it challenging, so you have to collect things in your enemy's way. Okay, so for right now, this is what I have, and I've also put in a teleport script. So I've put it on this treasure box, which is over here. I'm going to go down to it so you can see it. So it's in my camera. Okay, so I'll explain the scripting as soon as I'm done here, but I want to show you what it does when I go and touch the treasure chest. Okay, it's transported me somewhere else. So I'm going to turn off my game, and I'm going to zoom out and show you where my player is now. I've added a second background, and this is where my player teleported to. Let me click on my penguin. Oh, he went back to the start point because I turned it off, but he teleported over to this screen. So this is one way of creating a second level, is you can create them in the same scene and just teleport into a new scene. Now, you can do this with a script, but this requires 2 different scripts. I'm going to zoom in here to my treasure chest object, and I'm going to show you my inspector. And in the scripts, we're going to go to the condition scripts. Condition scripts are a 2-part script that you have to use. It's an if you want to do something, then this has to happen. So you'll see if here, and in the actions, then this action happens. So first we want to say if it does something, if your player does something, then this will happen. So starting with the conditions, I used a condition area. Now a condition area requires a collider, and whenever my player enters that collider, then something will happen. So if I click on my treasure chest, you can see I put in a condition area, and I clicked, I only want it to happen once. I only want to teleport once using this condition and never again. And I have this drop down bar here where I can choose, I want the action to happen when I enter, or when I exit the collider, or when I stay inside the collider. So I have mine as when I want to enter the collider. And I want to say, what do I want to do? I want a teleport action connected to my treasure chest. Okay. So I can do that by adding a plus here and say teleport action. Okay. So here you can also, this is where you find your load level action. We'll do that next after this. I'm going to show you how to load a whole new scene. Okay. Now, this automatically added a teleport script for me. If you don't automatically see the teleport script added into your inspector, you can go into the actions and then add this. Okay. Now, it's going to ask you, what is it that you want to move to teleport? So I said I want it to teleport my penguin. And it says, where do you want it to move? So this is the trickiest part. You need to go and find the position of where you want to move it to. So in fact, that's what I did here, is I put this starfish here and I copied and pasted the similar location. I went, oh, it's near 132 and 20. So when I was here and put it into here, I put 132 and 19. So right there. And then it says stop movement. So meaning like the penguin will stop when he gets in, when he transports. He won't be continuously moving. You don't have to check this, but that's up to you. You can change these in any way that you want. Now, in order for this condition area to happen, you'll get a warning if you don't have it here in the condition area, and it will say you must make your collider an is-trigger event. So that means you have to click this is-trigger. This means that the collider is going to trigger this condition, this if statement, that when your main player enters this collider, it will teleport the penguin to this location. So this is how you connect all these actions. So this is one way of changing to a new scene. You can also teleport within your same level. So if you wanted a second level to teleport to a second level like I did here side by side, you can do that. Or you can teleport somewhere else within your same level, your same level here. Okay, and you can use something else to load to a new level. If I want to load it to a new level, I have to have two scenes. So now I'm going to tell you how to do an if-then statement to load to a new level. So I'm going to delete this teleport or turn it off. I don't think I can turn it off. I think I actually have to remove the component. Now I still have the condition area, but now I don't have anything that it's going to be doing. So I want it to load a new level. Okay, so it's loading, it's put in the load level script automatically for me, and it says to reload this level. Now, it can automatically reload this level, or you can choose to do a new level. Now, these are the levels that are currently available to me, and these are other games, and I don't want to do that. I want it to load a second version of this scene. So I want to go to my scenes in my project folder. And as you can tell at the top, I'm in the 2D game here. That's this one. I'm going to go up to my file and I'm going to my edit and I'm going to duplicate this scene. And I'm going to call it 2D game level 2. This is a quick and easy way to create two levels just to see if your script is working and also to back up your work in case something happens to your first level. You always have your second level, so in case something you make a mistake and delete artwork or have huge malfunctions, you'll always have a backup here. Okay, so anyways, I'm going to use this as my second level. And in order to do that and to load on this treasure chest, it still isn't available to me yet to load this second level because I have to go here into my file and go to build settings. Now in my build settings in this window, you're going to see up here in the scenes to build. I've got a ton of different things right here, but none of these are the scene that I'm actually working on right now. So I am going to right click and remove all of these from my build level. And I'm going to say add open scenes. So this is the one I'm in right now, Stacey Scenes 2D game. Okay. So if I switch now, if I close this and um, and open my 2D, my other level, it'll ask me to save. Definitely make sure you save it. And go to my other scene. You'll see it says level 2. And I go back into my file, build settings, and say open, add open scene. It'll now open level 2. Okay, this is perfect. So I'm going to actually close this now, go back into my original scene, go on to my treasure chest. You could tell because it says 2D game, that's my level 1. And click on my treasure chest here. Treasure chest. I'll pull my inspector out here. Okay, so now load level action is there. Go down to my load level, and if I click in this drop down bar now, I only have 2 options. I can reload this level, which is 2D game, or I can go to level 2. So now when I go and take my main character, let me move him now. And start the game. And I go to my chest. He goes immediately to my second level. You can see 2D game level 2. So even though it's a duplicate of my first one, it has loaded the second level. And I'm good to go for my second level. So that's how you can have 2 levels, is by creating 2 scenes, or you can teleport to a second environment within your first scene. I'm going to turn off my play mode here and go back.